Hi, welcome back to Mental Health for Students. My name is Emily, and today we are going to talk about coping with the stress of being a student, particularly with the end of semester stress. I know that at the end of the semester, that's when you have all of your exams and your essays and everything's just piling up and it feels like you have more work than you've had all semester. And it can get very overwhelming. So we're going to talk about some practical ways to handle the stress and to help you prepare so that you feel like you can accomplish everything at the end of the semester, but that you're still taking care of your mental health, because that's also very important. My experience with dealing with the stress wasn't always the best. I actually tended to get sick at the end of the semester, and when I was taking my finals in all my classes, I remember almost always having some kind of a cold. So I'm trying to give you that advice today so that you can not make the same mistakes that I made when I was a student. I think one of the most important things that I found, especially when I was in school and feeling very overwhelmed, was time management techniques. I know that not everybody likes to be super organized and have a rigid structure to things, but I kind of found some easy ways to just manage big projects and to break them down so they seemed like they were doable. And that helped me a lot. So I actually have some examples of some sheets that I made to kind of help brainstorm ideas with all of you of what you could do. The quote that I always had in mind when I was trying to approach a really long essay in paper was, it goes something like, a man moves a mountain stone by stone. So you're not going to be able to accomplish everything all at once. It's going to take small steps. And breaking down those really intimidating projects, it helps a lot. So the first one I have here is, I made the image of a mountain because I think at the end of the semester you really do feel like you're trying to climb a mountain and it gets bleak, it gets overwhelming. You feel like you can't see the top of it and you haven't reached the top yet. But breaking down a big project into small and manageable pieces, it's really helpful. So here I have the goal of finishing a term paper, and I've kind of laid out all the different steps from beginning to end that you will probably have to accomplish to get that paper done. Sometimes you procrastinate. That's just something that happens. But even if you do end up procrastinating at the end of the semester, as I definitely have several times, even just having the steps laid out, if you're doing it last minute, it's going to help you make sure that you're not leaving a stone unturned. And then definitely consulting like the syllabus and all the instructions that your professor gave to you. It's really helpful to make sure that you don't leave anything out, because that's when you're going to make a mistake and then your grade will go down even though you thought you did everything. So I think that's a helpful way. If you have a big project like a paper or a creative project, anything really. So I also have an example of some study schedules, and these don't look as nice. I wish I would have drawn some pictures, but you can definitely draw pictures when you make it. So I would kind of break it down class by class and then think about what I had to do for those specific classes. And definitely some classes you're going to need to study more than others. I always had classes that I was stronger in and that I kind of learned the material more easily and had to study a lot less. And those are classes that you should be celebrating, that yes, you'll have to do less work. And then you can really focus on the classes that you know that you'll need to study in. Doing things like reviewing the study guides that your professors give you, reviewing outlines and all of your notes, reviewing old tests if you have those available to you, or key concepts, Quizlet if that's applicable to any of the material that you're going over. All of that stuff is going to be really useful. As well as like if your class does a group study session. Whenever I've gone to a group study session, it's always been very relatable. It's felt good to be in a room with people who are also struggling with the material and also feeling ill prepared for the test. I think it just helps you feel like you guys can do it together. Or meet with a group of friends from class so that you guys can study together. Sometimes that helps with time management if it's more difficult to study alone when you're on your own. And if you go to a library or a coffee shop with a few friends, that can definitely help with getting things done. Below that, I have another example of kind of what it would look like the week before your finals. So that's the week when usually, realistically, when I would begin studying. We do know from science and research that studying in small chunks over a longer period of time does actually help you retain the information better. So cramming isn't necessarily the best way to go about studying, even though most students do it, and I have, so I understand. So at least a week in advance to kind of think about which classes to study for on which days, how long, and to make sure that you're prepared with the material for those days that you have those tests. And then also studying a little bit before your tests, depending on how your schedule looks. Now, the really important thing that is not reflected in these schedules is self-care. I think that is an overlooked component of time management. As a student, self-care is honestly just really important. I don't think that we always get that message when we're in school, but also make sure that you are scheduling and thinking about times that you can be relaxing, hanging out with friends, doing things that you like. Like if you have a hobby, I know I always like just reading a book or painting or something that helped me relieve stress when I was feeling really overwhelmed about something in school. It was just going on a walk with a friend or alone with some music. That can be really helpful. Also, we know through science that when you're getting enough sleep, your brain is functioning better and your memory is so much more able and capable of retaining the information that you need and then retrieving it when it comes to the test day. So really being intentional if you can. I know it's hard when you're a student, but trying to get enough sleep every night. I remember how hard the end of the semester always was for me. But the light is at the end of the tunnel. You have almost made it through. I believe in you. I hope that some of these tools can help you, and definitely customize them for yourself. And if you have great ideas, feel free to share them down below for other people, because there are so many ways that you can relieve stress and do time management when it comes to schoolwork. So I look forward to hearing your ideas. Good luck with all of your studying. I hope that the end of the semester goes well for you all. Until next time.